Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have come up with an important video, and this video is going to be very useful for my all class 10 CBSE students. Yes, as we are going to discuss the chapter Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. And yes, we are going to discuss its main points and MCQs. So I suggest you all to watch the video till end, and if you like it, hit the like button and share with your friends, and also do subscribe the channel so that you get the notifications of all the upcoming videos. So let's get started with the main points. So as we all know, this chapter is about the inauguration ceremony, which was a great history in the in for the Africans, South Africans. As you know, it was for the first time that the blacks had got the freedom, and the first black president, that is Nelson Mandela, was addressing the large gathering. So this whole chapter is taken from that inauguration ceremony, the speech which was delivered by Nelson Mandela. So let's see the points, how important points have been just listed down here from this chapter. So, the inauguration ceremony of the first non racial government was held in the Union Building of Pretoria. So, yes, this inauguration ceremony was held in the Union Buildings of Pretoria. Dignitaries and politicians from more than 140 countries attended the ceremony. Nelson Mandela was then sworn in as the President of the Republic of South Africa. So here there were many politicians and dignitaries and leaders who have assembled, and they had come from across 140 countries. And Nelson Mandela had just sworn as the first black president of the Republic of South Africa, and then he was addressing the gathering. South Africa had been the seat for the white supremacy for decades, and the blacks were considered as outlaws. So, as we all have read the chapter, and we know that South Africans were not uh, given the rights, they were just considered as outlaws as it was ruled by the white people. That is, white supremacy was going on there for decades. Now, the victory over apartheid was a victory for justice and freedom. The decades of oppression and exploitation of the blacks produced heroes like Tambos, Sisilers, and others in South Africa. So there was such a exploitation and oppression that the people from the blacks, they were emerging as the great heroes. So some of the names mentioned here are Tambos, Sisilers, and there were other leaders who had come up and emerged as the national heroes who were fighting for the country to get freedom from this white supremacy. Then Mandela acquired the knowledge and the meaning of courage from such brave comrades. So Mandela got the motivation and he acquired the knowledge from these brave comrades who had emerged as the heroes who were ready to sacrifice their life for the freedom of their country. He said every man had twin responsibilities towards his family and for his people and country. So this was the thought which was said by Nelson Mandela and all the other people over there, that they had twin responsibilities, two main responsibilities, that was towards his family and for his people and country. And this himself, Nelson Mandela, considered that he had a big two responsibilities to be fulfilled. Mandela realized that not only he, but all his countrymen were deprived of freedom. So Mandela's strong desire to free his people made him a rebel. And this realization that not only he is suffering from all these circumstances and situations, but all his countrymen, all his brothers and sisters of his country are deprived of this freedom. So, all this desire, his strong desire to free all his countrymen, made him a rebel, made him a fighter. And he realized that freedom is indivisible. So that is how he started fighting, and at last he reached the seat, and he was made the first black president in the history of South Africa. So this was the small summary, or you can say main points of the chapter. Now quickly go through the MCQs of this chapter. The first one is here. All the world leaders were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration, to see South Africa, to see Nelson Mandela, or to see their happiness. So answer is option A, to pay the respects before the inauguration. Okay, so the people and the leaders and the so many guests were there from throughout the country. They were just to pay the respects before the inauguration. So yes, answer is option A, to pay the respects before the inauguration. Next, 10th day dawned. Now, how was this day? It was bright and gloomy. Is it what was it rainy, bright and clear, or sunny? So the answer is it was C, bright and clear. Okay, as it's mentioned in the chapter, so it was bright and a clear day. Next, the ceremony took place in the dash. Like, what was the venue of the ceremony? Was it amphitheater, stadium, big ground, or public building? So answer is option A, amphitheater. Next, the new government was a dash elected non-racial government. Was it presidentially, republically, publicly, or democratically? And answer is option D, democratically. Okay, next. The leaders, dignitaries, and the people present in the ceremony were conferring glory and hope to the dash. Newborn liberty, newborn country, new black president, or new people. And the answer is option A, newborn liberty. So the freedom which was given for the first time in the history of South Africa, so to pay respect and to confer glory on them, the people were present there. So the answer is option A, newborn liberty. Next, the apartheid regime was based on dash: A, mutual understanding, B, racial discrimination, C, mutual consent, or D, set of rules? And the answer is option B, racial discrimination. Because we know apartheid movement was nothing but a racial discrimination where you discriminated among the blacks and whites. So answer is option B, racial discrimination. Next. A new democratic and non-racial society was going to dash, take its birth on that day, fulfill people's dream, give happiness, or end all of the old laws? And the answer is option A, take its birth on that day, because it was the start of this non racial society on that day, right? So it's option A, take its birth on that day. Next, Nelson Mandela was the first dash president of South Africa. Elected, democratic, happy, or black? And answer is option D, black. Yes, this was the history in the history of South Africa. You can say that he was the first black president to be elected as in South Africa. Next, we thank all our distinguished dash international guests, national people, patriots, or leaders. And the answer is option A, international guests. So this was a line said by Nelson Mandela in his speech that he is thanking all our distinguished dash. It was international guests. Next one. They have pledged themselves to liberate the people from dash racial discrimination, poverty, bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, etc., or slavery. And yes, the answer is option C, bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, etc. Next. South Africa will never again experience the dash, the oppression of one by another, apartheid, slavery, or dictatorship. Like after getting the freedom, after having the first black president, Nelson Mandela, as the president of South Africa, what will they never again experience? So it is yes, option A, the oppression of one by another, the oppression which was done, which will not be repeated on one of one by another. Next, Nelson Mandela was overwhelmed with emotions, with a sense of history, happiness, or sorrow. So it's option B, with a sense of history. Next one. The Anglo-Boer War was fought in the dash. First decade of the 20th century, last decade of the 20th century, middle of the 20th century, or few decades ago. And the answer is option A, first decade of the 20th century. Next. Nelson Mandela was simply the sum of all those dash patriots who had gone before him, his present colleagues, his national leaders, or his friends. And the answer is option A, patriots who had gone before him. Like he was all the sum of all those brave leaders who had already gone before him. So answer is option A, patriots who had gone before him. Next is, it will take several generations to recover from that dash. Profound hurt, great sadness, great loss, or big suffering. Answer is option A, profound hurt. Next question. Oliver Tambo's, Walter Sisulu's, and Bram Fisher's were the product of dash. Decades of oppression, decades of cruelty, decades of oppression and brutality, or decades of brutality. Answer is option C, decades of oppression and brutality. Okay, next. South Africa is rich in minerals and dash, wildlife, gold, gems, or flora and fauna. And the answer is option C, gems. Next, the greatest wealth of a nation is dash, its minerals, wildlife, water, or its people. And the answer is option D, it's people. Okay, next one. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who dash conquers that fear, bears that fear, runs away from the fear, or get idea to overcome fear. And yes, the answer is option A, conquers that fear, as we have read in the lesson, and how Nelson Mandela has given this statement that the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. So, the next and the last question, love comes more naturally to the human heart, lovers, those who love to love others, or kind people. And yes, it's option A, the human heart. Okay, so with these 20 questions, we come to an end of the MCQs of this chapter. I hope this video was useful and interesting for you all. If you liked it, do hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, subscribe the channel for more such videos. We'll be back soon with more videos. Till then, stay safe and take care. Thank you.